What's going on, guys? Game9. Today's video, we're back with another video today. Today I want to talk about some news that kind of broke out yesterday that I didn't really pay attention to. Um, the Xbox version of Microsoft Flight Sim is coming out next summer, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about it. And yeah, it's not going to come probably to the Xbox One X, One S, or original Xbox One. I actually kind of thought of this, honestly. I kind of really thought they were going to probably skip it anyways. I mean, the stuff's pretty old. You might as well just have it on next generation systems anyways. And that's what Microsoft, I think, is planning on doing in terms of in terms of actually having this game out on systems. So it kind of makes a lot of sense for them to deliver that. And so I guess it's not a bad thing that they did that. But then if maybe most majority of people might not have next gen, so I guess it's kind of cool. I guess the Xbox players will be able to, or the Xbox Series players will be able to play the next generation flight sim game that we're on right now. Of course, this is on PC, and it's pretty demanding, right? So we don't really know how the frame rate's going to be unless they lock it at 30 FPS, and I doubt the game can even run in 4K, let alone 1080p. I'm running at 2K and I'm getting 30 FPS, so it's pretty intense. Of course, these are running the Series X and let's just say the Series X, right? It's probably equivalent of 2080 Super in terms of the teraflop performance, gap and everything like that. I mean, my 2080 Ti is 14 teraflops, and mostly all the new 3000 series cards are more powerful than my card. Of course it is, even a 3070 is for half the price of it. So, so we'll really have to wait and see how this turns out next year in terms of having Flight Sim, in terms of what, Digital Foundry is going to do on this, in terms of what the performance gap is between it and everything like that. But I'm pretty sure you could see a solid 30 FPS locked, kind of like we're running right now. I'm on a 2K monitor at 165 hertz, so the game's gorgeous. Regardless of what kind of specs you're kind of using in your computer. But this is a pretty demanding game, even for my PC. I'm on Zen 2, so I'm on that next generation type hardware, and I can get 30 FPS at 1440p. So it just really depends on what is gonna really run. But 4K 30 is very doubtful. But we'll have to really wait and see. I mean, this game can barely run 4K on my computer, and I have desktop CPU, not a 3800X that's probably built inside, or 3700 or 3700X or 3800X that's built in the series systems. So we have to really wait and see how this performs in terms of performance, and how the game's going to really run it. The Flight Sim. Now, for me, would I buy an Xbox to play this? No, not really. I mean, you can get on PC right now if you have Game Pass, or even Game Pass Ultimate. But if you have Game Pass right now, you can just play the game on PC for $10. So, say you like it, say your computer could run it. That's my advice for people right now if that are on PC right now. For console players, though, if you have Game Pass Ultimate already, you're pretty good set to go in terms of trying out the game and see how it performs before picking it up. Now, if you're a console player and you're thinking about getting this game, I think it's a wonderful game for my audience that doesn't have a really expensive rig to really run this game. And for a lot of the Xbox console players out there, I think it's pretty viable that they kind of made the choice to kind of swap it to. I kind of figured that they were going to go towards next gen anyways. If they actually released a new trailer for comes out next summer 2021, probably June, probably around E3 time most likely. So if you do have a Series X by then, or Series S, it will definitely pick it up on Game Pass Ultimate or Game Pass or whatever you have on Xbox. But this is primarily for the console folks out there that want to try to get this game. I would not probably buy the game. I'd try it out, see how it runs on the Series X if you're looking to getting it. If it's coming to Xbox One, which they have not mentioned yet, I don't think it's going to come out to the Xbox One X. I mean, right now, even Cyberpunk 2077, as we speak right now, is having massive issues with last generation. That game was almost primarily a next generation game, maybe not even really a current gen, 8th gen type title. So it kind of makes sense for them to release it on the Series X and Series S because they are built around solid state technology, which makes a lot of sense for them to just kind of push this game to come out and on a solid state. And this game requires probably M.2s. In terms of data and caps and stuff like that, that's a video that I'll have to talk on a different day and talk a little bit about that in terms of data caps. I mean, you can limit how much data you're using. You are streaming this game on a server through the Azure servers, so it's a little bit different in terms of what you're doing. So like for an example, I can show you guys real quick, just for a brief second here, but this is the data that I've been my data got wiped. They must have reset the data. Oh, that's because I got a new route modem. That's probably why. But it was like 197 gigs or something like that. So whatever. They must have did it through an update or something. But yeah, you can use a lot of data. Like I said, it's used 20-some megabytes, which is like nothing. But if you're data cap, you want to kind of have a data cap situation on there where you can data your internet within the game and stuff, because you are streaming this game. Now, in terms of like 4K 30 and all that stuff, I have a 2080 Ti, and that's almost as powerful as a Series X. In terms, because they're based on the 20 series type cards, in my opinion, at some level of performance. But like, I don't really know. Like, I think it really depends on. It really depends on what the game's how this game's gonna perform. And my honest opinion, I think it's optimized pretty well now on PC. So that's probably why they never released it really on, console right away. Makes a lot of sense for them to kind of optimize and get the bugs out and everything like that. And then if it's basically confirmed by Microsoft, so it's not a rumor, it's just not speculation. They pretty much have an announcement trailer, and it pretty much says Windows 10, Series consoles, and Game Pass. So I'm pretty sure that means that they're probably canning the Xbox One probably next year for this game. But it makes a lot of sense for them to. I mean, the game basically runs off, solid state technology. So it makes a lot. It makes a lot of sense for them to. Oh my God! So yeah. It makes a lot of sense for them to do that, to release, the new game on Xbox. Yeah, I'm gonna get a different plan. But it just really depends on what you want to do for that. And honestly, I think that the game's going to be great on console. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy playing it, like going to New York City and just exploring. It's going to be a lot of fun. But my recommendation for people is to get the game on Game Pass, see how you like it, try it out before you really buy it, full price, and just get on Game Pass, just see how you like it before you get it. Everything in the game is pretty much updated. They recently have a content update that I've pretty much been talking about recently. It's primarily for the Xbox and console players out, Xbox players out there for this video. So my advice for people is to try it out on Game Pass when it comes out next summer, and then see how you like it before buying it. But for me, you can pretty much go anywhere. If you guys ever watch over my videos, you can pretty much do anything in this game. So it's one of them games that probably a dream to come true to console players, and I'm kind of glad it is coming to. The series is coming to Xbox consoles. It's about time they kind of release, Flight Sim, which could be around for years to come, onto that ecosystem. So it just really depends on what you want to do in the game. And this game's got years of development. It's got things that are going to continue to be supported throughout the years, and there's going to be a lot of stuff to come about. They're gonna have helicopters eventually, probably even military jets eventually, or something like that down the road, which you're gonna have to pay for. Maybe the third party or something like that. So there's a lot of things coming soon that Microsoft Flight Sim has to offer, and if you're a console player, this is a great opportunity for you probably to pick up the series. Maybe not now, right, as we speak, but maybe next spring or summer when hopefully you can find them in store shelves or something when the hype dies down and the scalping kind of goes away for the stuff and eventually just kind of just dissipates. So you got pretty big releases next. You got Halo Infinite and you got this game, and so it just really depends on what you want to do. And in this game, I use a controller most of the time for like my flying. It's on the FX setting. Basically, it's more the arcade setting. I'm pretty sure they're going to add keyboard and mouse support for the game on the Series X, so I wouldn't doubt it. In terms of mod support, I don't think that's going to happen. They'll probably add crossplay. I'm not 100% sure they will, but they might, most likely. Microsoft's pretty pro-consumer on that in terms of having that ability. So it just all depends on what you want to do in the game and explore in the game. There's a lot of things to do in this game, and my honest opinion, I think if you're a PC player, it's a pretty cool game. I think it's pretty optimized at 30 FPS. You're not going to get the best type of graphics. The game is gorgeous regardless, but it's a flight sim. Flight simulators are intensive on whatever hardware you have, even if you have a 16-core processor like I do. In a 2080 Ti. So it depends on what you have, in the PC realm. But console players, I think, are really going to like this game, and there's a lot of things you can do in it. And I just do videos on YouTube and talk about it, but I guess this is more probably for console audience right now. Thought I'd give you guys the news that is coming out to the Series X and Series S. They did not confirm that it's coming out to the Xbox One. Probably not going to. Makes a lot of sense for not to release it on the Xbox One consoles, because the hardware is pretty old now, and they would like to focus more on the next generation. That's probably why it never came out this year. They're probably thinking, we'll just kind of release it on our next gen console and Series S and Series X. It makes a lot of sense for us to do that. That's what Microsoft would probably say in the background in terms of what they're trying to do. If you look at the trailer recently that was posted yesterday, which I haven't really kept up with the news much, they actually did a release that there's in that trailer basically next summer game comes out, probably June, like I said previously in this video. Then they will probably most likely just kind of come out with it and say, hey, well, we're sorry, but can't come out with the Xbox One variant. We have to have it on next-gen systems. And it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, I guess. Maybe the game can't really run it. If Cyberpunk can't run it on the Xbox One, I'm pretty sure that this game cannot run it on the Xbox One. So, makes a lot, even the Xbox One X. So, kind of makes a lot of sense for them to kind of just do that on that scale, for them to release it on next generation hardware. So if you're thinking about getting the Xbox Series consoles, probably better off waiting until they get in stock, so spending all this money on these hardware and stuff like that. So I thought I'd make my point. I'm kind of out of time right now. I don't want to be doing rambling too much into this video. I thought I would kind of talk about it, and it should be quite cool. I wanted to just make a kind of a video, just basically talk about the consoles and give my own thoughts on it. I think console players are going to love it. I highly recommend getting on Game Pass, though, before really trying to, picking up and spending $60 on the game next summer for the next-gen console players, so next Xbox players. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to keep you guys updated. Yesterday I was going to post Washington State. I am still going to be doing that today, so hopefully I can't promise anything, but I'm hoping to do it today. So I can go ahead with that. But I thought I'd let you guys know it's a little bit longer video today, so about 15 minutes. Didn't want to make it too long, but I wanted to get some topics in here and kind of explain about some stuff for next generation consoles, next generation Xbox consoles for Microsoft Flight Sim. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Until next time, this is Game9 signing off. Peace out, guys.